Okay, so today we'll be learning rounding numbers, which helps making numbers easier to work with. Today's lesson, we're going to learn what is rounding, how we can round numbers, and we'll do some practice problems. So what is rounding? Rounding helps us make numbers easier to use, and it tells us which number is closest to the one that we have. So an example is if you take 47, you can say that 47 is close to 50. This 47 is 3 away from 50. So we can round up to 50. So you can use a number line to help us round. We'll get back to that later. So why do we round? Rounding helps us make numbers easier to add or subtract. And using rounding, we can quickly and easily make smart guesses or estimates. And one example of this is to talk about big numbers more easily. So we can say that about 100 people came to the fair. So we don't know exactly how many people came to the fair, but it can be a little more than 100 or a little less than 100. It could be maybe 98 or 99, or it can be 103 or 104. But if we could make a guess, then we would say about 100. Some real life examples of rounding is when we count the number of people at an event. We don't know exactly how many people will be there at the event, but we can estimate based on about how many people that we see. Next is estimating the cost of groceries. So if uh, there's some amount of like the cost of the grocery is maybe uh, 102 rupees, then you can just round it, just say 100 rupees. And also measure distances. And an example of this is the park is about 300 meters away. We don't know exactly how many meters away the park is, but we can just guess that it's about 300. It could also be maybe 290 or maybe 305 meters, but if we just go in the middle, it would just be 300. So an important part of rounding is using number lines. And number lines show us what two numbers a number is in between. So if we take 17 for example, you can see it's here in the number line from 10 to 20. It's between 10 and 20. And we can also see all the other numbers in between, like 11, 12, 13, 17, 18, 19. So now we'll learn rounding to the nearest 10. So the main rule that when we're rounding to the nearest 10, they have to remember is we always look at the ones place. So there's, in a 2-digit number, there's always a tens place and a ones place. So in rounding to the nearest 10, you have to look at the ones place. And if the ones place, the number there is between 0 and 4, then we always round down. Which means we keep the tens place as the same number, and we change the ones place to 0. And then if the ones place is 5 to 9, then we always round up. And rounding up means we change the ones place to 0, and then the tens place digit, we add 1 to that. So we have two examples here. 34, for rounding 34, there's a 3 in the tens place and the 4 in the ones place. So according to the rule, we always look at the ones place. And then, so the number here in the ones place is 4. So if we look back at the rule, if it's 0 to 4, then we round down. So since it's in that range, 4 becomes 0, and the tens place stays the same as 3. So if we round 34 to the nearest 10, it becomes 30. Now we have another example. We have 67, and we're rounding 67 to the nearest 10. So first we have the 6 in the tens place, and then we have the 7 in the ones place. So we always look at the ones place first. And is it 0 to 4? No. But it's 5 to 9, so that means we have to round up. So when we round up, we change the ones place to 0, and then there's a 6 in tens place. So we add 1 to that, and 6 plus 1 becomes 7. So now in the tens place we have a 7, ones place we have a 0, so now we have 70. So here's a video about rounding to the nearest 10.
Let's start learning.
One way of estimating is rounding to the nearest 10. When we round to the nearest 10, we are looking to see which 10 our number is closest to. Let's look at a number, 33. Here's 33 on a number line. 33 is between 30 and 40. 33 is 3 away from 30. 1, 2, 3. 33 is 7 away from 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 33 is closer to 30. So, 33 rounded to the nearest 10 is 30. Here's 56 on a number line. 56 is between 50 and 60. 56 is 6 away from 50. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But only 4 away from 60. 1, 2, 3, 4. 56 is closer to 60. 56 rounded to the nearest 10 is 60. What about a number with a 5 in the ones place? 25 is between 20 and 30. 25 is 5 away from 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 25 is 5 away from 30, too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, when this happens, we have to follow a rule, and the rule is this. When we have a number with a 5 in the ones place, we always round up to the nearest 10. 25 rounds to 30.
Let's review.
For numbers with 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the ones place, round down. 33 rounds down to 30. For numbers with 6, 7, 8, or 9 in the ones place, round up. 56 rounded to the nearest 10 is 60. For numbers with a 5 in the ones place, always round up. 25 rounds up to 30. 4 or less, give it a rest. 5 or above, give it a shove. Nice work, everyone. Parents, teachers, and homework helpers, please be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications.
Okay, let's do some practice with rounding two-digit numbers. So let's start with 82. So if you remember the rule, we always look at the ones place. So here we have a 2 in the ones place, and 2 is in the range in between 0 and 4. So that means we round down. So we keep the tens place as the same, so it's 8. And the ones place turns into 0. So now if we round 82 to the nearest 10, we get 80. Now let's look at 47. So we always look at the ones place, and here we have 7 in the ones place. And 7 is in between 5 and 9. So that means we round up. When we round up, we change the ones place to 0. And then we have a 4 in the tens place. So 4 plus 1 is 5. And then when we round up, we have a 5 in the tens place. So 5 and 0 makes 50. Now we have 15. So we have a 5 in the tens place, in the ones place. And we have the 1 in the tens place. So if we look at the 5, it's in the range of 5 and 9. So that means we have to round up for this. And if we turn the ones place is 0, and then we have a 1 in the tens place, and we add 1, it becomes 2. So now we have a 2 in the tens place and 0 in the ones place, which becomes 20. Now we have 99. This one's a little bit tricky. So we have 9 in the tens place and in the ones place. So that means we have to round up. So when we round up, we have to make the ones place 0, and then if we add 1 to 9, it becomes 10. So now we have a 10 in the tens place, and a 10 in the tens place also means 1 in the 100s place. So we get 100. So now we're gonna learn rounding to the nearest 100, and it's all the same rules as rounding to the nearest 10. But if you notice here, for rounding to the nearest 100, instead of looking at the ones place, we're always looking at the tens place now. And it's the same rule. If it's between 0 to 4, we round down, and if it's in between 5 to 9, then we round up. So we'll do 2 practice problems here. We'll be rounding 243 to the nearest 100. So instead of looking at the ones place, we're now looking at the tens place. So in the tens place, we have a 4. So 4 is in between 0 and 4, so we're rounding down. And when we're rounding to the nearest 100, we turn the tens place and the ones place into 0. And we're rounding down, so the hundreds place stays the same. So the hundreds place is the same, so we have a 2. And then tens place and ones place turn to 0, so 0, 0, 200. Next we have 678. So we're looking at the tens place now. So 7 is between 5 and 9, so we round up. So like always, we'll change the tens and ones place to 0. And since we're rounding up, we'll add 1 to the hundreds place to make it 7. So 7 in the hundreds place and 0, 0 in the tens and ones place makes 700. So 678 rounded to the nearest 100 is 700. Okay, let's do some practice with rounding to the nearest 100. So here we have 182, and there's an 8 in the tens place, so that means we're rounding up. So like always, the tens and one place turn to 0, and then we'll add 1 to 1 and make it 2, so it becomes 200. Next we have 349, and 4 is between 0 and 4, so we're rounding down. So since we're rounding down, the hundreds place will stay the same, and then tens and ones become 0, so we get 300. Next we have 755. So in the tens place we have a 5, So that means we're rounding up. So we add 1 to the hundreds place and make it 8. So our answer is 800. And finally, for 920, in tens place we have a 2, so we're rounding down. And the hundreds place will stay the same, so we get 900. So here's a review. So we use rounding for making numbers simple and easy to work with. And the rule is if it's 5 or if it's 5 or more, you round up, and if it's 4 or less, you round down. And you can also use number lines to help you visualize which number it's closer to. So here we have a quiz. We can go over these now. So 64, we're rounding to the nearest 10. So we have a 4 in the ones place, so we're rounding down, and 64 rounded down is 60. Next we have 135, and we're rounding this to the nearest 100. And if you look, we have a 3 in the tens place, so that means we're rounding down. So the 1 in the hundreds place stays the same, and 3 in the tens place and 5 in the ones place turn to zeros. So 135 rounded to the nearest 100 is 100. Next we have 488, and rounding this to the nearest 100. So the 8 in the tens place means that we're rounding up, and 4, if we add 1, becomes 5. So we have a 5 in the hundreds place, so our answer is 500. And finally, 71 rounded to the nearest 10. There's a 1 in the ones place, so that means we're rounding down. And 71 rounded down to the nearest 10 is 70.